Hello everyone, welcome back. Time to change the battery on the Holosun 507K. This will be the fourth battery change this year. I built this gun back in July. Um, basically, after I installed the gun, started testing it, carrying it around. About 4 weeks later, right, August 21st, 2021, I had to do a battery change. Okay, so that was after about 4 weeks. I did not know how old the battery was that came with the gun with the optic, so I did kind of discount that a little bit. So about a month later, September 26th, 2021, it started blinking on me again. Had to change it. So that time I knew I had a fresh battery in there. And then this one, right, that I put in, the battery that's in there now that I put in on September 26th, started blinking last night. Today is November 22nd. So basically this time, it was good for about 2 months before I started doing the blinky. Let me get behind the camera, show you guys what it looks like. A little further out so it focuses. Try to get a little further out. It's a little out of focus. Let's bring it in. It's always a hit or miss trying to get this thing to focus. Trying to get it into the right position. No, I'm not going to get it. Go left, go right. No. Anyway, as you guys can see, I keep it pretty bright. It has to be sunny day brightness because I'm outdoors all day. And I need to keep this thing at a level where I can come out of holster and see it in the daytime. So it's got to be pretty bright. If I dim it down, I can't see it. In daylight. Okay? So it has to be that brightness level. Otherwise, there's no point in having it on the gun. Okay. So now, this time around, the only thing that was different because like, why did the previous time I got only a month? This time I got 2 months with it. What did I do different? The only thing I can think about is it is starting to get darker earlier because we're in the fall now. We're almost in the winter now, right? So it's the end of November. So I do tend to go home earlier, which means that the gun comes basically the holster with the gun comes off my body, goes into the safe earlier versus like in the summertime when I tend to stay out later. So I think I'm out less hours during the daytime, so that might be a factor. The other thing is because it also gets dark earlier, like right now it's getting dark by 5 o'clock. I do tend to do a lot more practice shooting. So when I do my practice shooting, like if I'm shooting like at a man-sized target, like the one that you have over there, I keep it sunny day. The way I have it in the daytime is the way I practice because that's how I'm going to find the gun. But occasionally I want to do some target shooting at night, some precision shooting. So if I want to shoot at the smaller targets, I will power it down a little bit. I'll power it down significantly. And a couple of times I noticed that I forgot to power it back up. So the next time I went to shoot the gun, basically in the daytime, I couldn't see the reticle, right? It wasn't bright enough. So I think there was a couple of more days where it was actually powered low, and I think that's what extended the battery life, okay? But that's a good example of why it doesn't make sense to power it down at night because it's easy to forget it, and the next day when you go to shoot the gun, or the next time you go to shoot the gun, you're not going to have a bright enough reticle. When that does happen, right, I make a point of, right, if I come out of holster, right, if I'm training, right, come out of holster, when I come out, if I see that my reticle is not bright enough, I can't see it, I just go to the iron sights. So I actually drill that in so that my brain makes the immediate adjustment. If there's no red dot or reticle there, because I use the 32 MOA circle on this, if there's no reticle on this, I immediately go to my iron sights without skipping a beat. I want that to be automatic. And the only way it's going to happen is if you do it in practice, right? So if you come out, you don't see a reticle, don't pause, don't reholster, don't try to adjust it. Just go to your iron sights, hit your target, and then when you're done, then adjust it to daylight brightness. Okay, so So what I'm going to do, a couple of people mentioned that because I was using Energizer batteries the last couple of times, because that's basically what I had. A couple of people made a comment to use the Duracell ones, right, the 1632s. So I did order these, got a bunch of these. I'm going to put this in there now, and we're going to mark down the date, right, November 22nd, and we're going to see when the next time that I got to change this battery again, okay? So, you know, and then we're going to see how much of a difference the Duracells make. Now, it might extend it a little bit. I don't think it will make that much of a difference. Now, one of the nice things I like about the Holosun is that they have a tray that slides out. Check out the little bit battery. And they have the tray that slides out so that you can change the battery without having to remove the optic and re-zero it. And I think that's really important. Now, I know some of the other brands, I don't bend the battery. Some of the other brands out there, I know that you have to remove the optic in order to change the battery, and then you have to re-zero the reticle. And what people will say is that, hey, not a big deal, because the company tells you that you get like 20,000 hours of battery life. Okay, don't believe it. Because Holosun says that you get 50,000 hours of battery life, and I'm not getting 50,000 hours, like 5 years, right? And I'm lucky if I'm getting, yes, I'm lucky if I'm getting 2 months. In most cases, I'm only getting 1 month. Wow, Duracell really packs this piece of crap in there. Cut this out. So when they tell you, in my opinion, when they tell you don't worry about it, you got 20,000 hours of battery life, you're not going to have to, I mean, my feeling is that if you're carrying this gun around every day, or this optic rather, on the gun, you're going to have, okay, I'm getting a knife. You're going to have to change this more often than you think, right? It's one thing if you put the optic on it and it's sitting in your safe most of the time, and you're taking it to the gun range, whatever, like once a month, that's different than, because these optics have shake awake technology, where the optic is supposed to go to sleep and wake up when you shake the gun, and that's fine on a rifle or a pistol that's mainly gonna stay in your safe. But for a gun that you're gonna carry every day, the gun's constantly moving on your, it's on your body. You're moving. It's never going to go to sleep. Right. Okay. There you go. It came. There you go. So there it is. So I'm going to put the screw in off camera. I'm going to take that indoors and put the screw, because I don't want to take a chance of dropping the screw. So there it is. Now it's nice and focused this time. Now you noticed, if you look in the glass, you see how it's a little cloudy. Right, that's basically lint that's gonna accumulate on the lens from you carrying it around every day, right? So basically, the optic becomes a lint trap, and it's gonna get dirty, and it's always gonna be dirty. So that's another reason why you have to keep it. You have to keep it pretty bright, okay? Because you have to be able to see through that lint, or through those, whatever ends up in there. You got to be able to see through it. So anyway, that's my report. Since the last time I changed the battery, I got 2 months out of it. A number of people said that I should try the Duracells. I might get more battery life out of it. So we're going to go with the Duracells. We'll see what that does for us. The first time it happened, the first time it happened with my Holosun 507Cs. Actually, it was a 507C that I was carrying around when I got a pistol. I started carrying that around, and the first time it went dead after 4 weeks, or started blinking after 4 weeks. I thought maybe there was a problem with the optic itself, right? Why all of a sudden? Because I had been using the gun, right? I had been using that pistol for a while with that optic, and I wasn't having a battery problem. But all of a sudden, when I started carrying it, all of a sudden it was blinking after 4 weeks. So I said, maybe this thing is going bad on me. But that was the 507C, right? I changed that, but then I got in the 507 ACSS. So as soon as that came in, I put that on the gun, right? It was the G26. I put it on that. 4 weeks later, I saw that the 507 ACSS, that was dead too, right? With everyday carry. That was through the summer, so longer hours, I'm carrying the gun around a lot more. So I saw it happen with the 507C. I saw it happen with the 507 ACSS. And then after that, I switched over to the 507K on this G43. And again, same deal happened after, started blinking at me after 4 weeks. So at this point, I'm comfortably convinced that it's not a problem with the optic. All right, it's just the fact that the high battery life that they quote you is not based, I think, on everyday carry. Right, it's based on you shooting the gun occasionally. It's sitting in the safe most of the time. Like these rifles here, right? These optics are supposed to have like 50,000 hours battery life, but most of the time it's going to be sitting in a safe, right? So if you're going to go to the range, like most people go to the range, let's say once a month. So even if it's out all day, all right, that's really the only time it's being used. Now, my rifles get a lot more usage, right? Because I'm a gun instructor, I'm traveling around. When it's in the, let's say if it's in the trunk of in the back of my truck or whatever, the truck's moving. This is not going to sleep. Okay, so I can tell you guys, even with these 507, what is it, the 510C, and also the 510C, and also the 503CU, I have had to change those batteries as well, right? Now, because I'm not using it, because it's not getting as much usage as my carry gun, which is always on my body moving, right? This mostly sits in the safe, except when I'm actually using the gun. I would say that, because I just changed this earlier, that's why this gun's out. So I've changed a couple, because I got a lot of these, so it's kind of hard to keep track of which one I changed and which one I didn't change. But it's safe to say that I've changed each of my 510Cs at least once in the year that I've had them. And I've only had these for about a year, so it's not like I've had them for like 5 years or something. We say, well, maybe batteries run through that 50,000 hour lifespan. No, I've only had 510Cs for about a year, right? So, and I know I've changed the battery on a couple of them because they were blinking. So just be aware that you're not going to get the battery life that you're quoted. Depending, that all depends on how much you use the gun. Everyday carry, guns on your body, constantly moving. It's not going to sleep. You're probably going to get 2 months max. Most likely, in many cases, you're only going to get 1 month. Now, that said, pretty much all my optics at this point are all Holosuns. I've looked at other ones. I still think that these are the best, right? But we need to know what their realistic limitations are. So regardless how much I like them, I want to know what the limitations are, because this way I know that I need to have like a stack of batteries. I know that with my everyday carry gun, I got to more or less, in most cases, change the battery once a month. I may have to change it every 2 months, but I know I got to have a lot of batteries in reserve. They're not terribly expensive, but I got to have that information. That's why I'm putting these videos out there for you guys to be aware and to properly stock up to make sure you've got enough batteries for how you use the gun. So hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was useful. Look for the future videos that I do with the battery updates. If you want to see the prior videos, just search my channel name with 507K or 510C or 507 ACSS or whatever optic you're interested in. Search my channel name and that optic name, and you'll probably you'll find the videos that I did on those optics. So subscribe to the channel, hit that bell button so you get the notification. I'll talk to you guys soon.